Hi guys, this is YellowUnit again, back with another tutorial. So this tutorial is going to be the first part to the series I'm making on logic gates. Okay, so the first logic gate that I'm going to review is going to be the AND gate. It's one of the most basic logic gates, and yeah, so let's get started with it. Okay, so before we actually start building the schematic in Minecraft, I'm going to start with explaining its schematic in as we use it in real life, and then it has a couple of other little details that go along with it. As you can see, I have two images here explaining. On the left is explaining how we interpret or use logic, the AND logic gate in real life, and then on the right is the AND gate we use. And the way I'm gonna explain it is the way we use it in Minecraft. Okay, so let's start with the one we use in real life. Schematic is basically input A and input B going into the schematic, and the shape that it has is it's half of a rectangle or half of a square attached to half of a circle. So this in a way is like it's in a way of saying like it's a condition. Input A and input B have to be like a certain input for it to equal have a positive output. So as we come down here, we see there's a chart. Like this is what we refer to like, or yeah, we computer engineers refer to as the truth table. Okay, so we have various outputs here. I mean inputs and outputs here. Okay, so as we see, the chart says A and B. These are the inputs that are put in. So before I explain the chart, you guys need to know a little detail. In computer engineering, 0 represents, or in binary, a 0 represents like no voltage, and versus a 1, which represents 5 volts. And to turn circuit on and off, it switches between 0 volts and 5 volts. Okay, so 0 volt represents no voltage at all going into the circuit, and then a 1 represents a 5 volt going into the circuit. Okay, so as we have the first like option that I mean the inputs that we have is 0 and 0. When there's no current going in whatsoever, there is going to be no current coming out of the circuit. Okay, so here's where it starts to get like a little tricky, where we have input A is 0 and then input B is 1. As I'm saying, input A and input B have to be a certain input for it to equal something. So the condition in the AND gate is, well, I forgot to state the Boolean expression, which is y equals A and B. So the AND basically is that input A and input B have to be 5 volts. So that's where you're going to get an output. That's why we see when we have 0 volts as input A and 1 volt as 5 volts as input B, we still have a 0, which is like no volts at all. And vice versa, like you can switch A and B and you'll get the same answer. As we go down to the last one, we see that when we have 5 volts in input A and 5 volts in input B, we get an input of 1, which is 5 volts. That's basically how it works. So input A and input B have to be 5 volts for it to equal any voltage at all. Like it says 1 and 1 equal 1. So it can't be the other way around. We're not really doing addition here. It's just that you have to have two 5 volts or two inputs that are positive and to equal something positive, and it can't be anything else. As we go over to the Minecraft one, I just replaced the input A with switch A and then input B with switch B, and then equaling the piston. Well, I'll explain this which I'm gonna build in the Minecraft right now. Okay, so let's switch over to Minecraft now. And so I'm gonna build a schematic, and then you'll understand what I'm trying to do here. You're gonna place 3 blocks like I just did, and then place one stone torch, redstone torch on that side, and one on this side. So just like that. And then one in the middle on the other side like this. Make sure you place a redstone dust in the middle of these so they're all connected. As you see, this is input A, or it could be input B, and this could be input A or input B. And as you can see, this is connected to equal the output. So we're going to connect 2 leads coming out from both the redstone torches. So this is input A or input B. We're going to put 2 switches over here, one over here, one over here. And as you can see, it's already starting to form the schematic that I showed you in like the first chart. And then this is the output. So this is the torch that outputs of whatever the switches do over there. And then we're gonna place a piston here to see whether what inputs work and what don't. And so I'm gonna show you, and then I'm gonna switch over and explain it. Okay, as you can see here, we have switch A and then switch B. This is what I'm gonna call it. You can call this switch A if you want, but I'm gonna call this switch A, or you know what, this is switch A for me. Okay, so the first one is 0 and 0. Okay, so I don't click this one. This shouldn't be glowing because I'm not putting any voltage here, as well as this one here because it's 0 and 0. And what do we have here? It equals 0 because the piston doesn't move at all. And then we have 0 and 1. Okay, this one is going to be 0, and while this one glows, and this is going to give a voltage away, and then we see nothing really happens except this torch turns off. And then we have 1 and 0. Okay, so this one's going to turn on, and I'm going to give this one voltage, and nothing happens again. And this, all we see really much is just this redstone torch turning off. And then the last one, of course, is 1 and 1, or turning both switches on. And as we see, these two turn off, and this one turns on, and we have an output. Voila! Basically, like I explained before, you need to have 5 volts in input A and input B for the AND gate to work. So the condition for the AND gate is that there has to be two 5-volt charges in input A and input B, or in Minecraft, like in a way for explaining it in Minecraft, the both switches have to be on for the output to work, for the piston to work. So guys, basically this was the AND gate, and if I confused you or you have any questions or comments or concerns, please post them in the comment section below. And if you think I was helpful, thumbs up the video, like, comment, subscribe. Yeah, and thanks for watching.